Okay, we're live. This is Jonathan Kirkland. I am with Virtual Group, and I'm coming to you live from Austin, Texas. I wanted to just real quick as we get started, we've got people coming into the webinar. Real quick, give me a shout out, make sure that I can hear you and you can see my screen. All right, Stephen, good to have you. Michael, good to see you again. Larry, Ed, Rusty, Casey, well, Mike, Brian, Tom. Oh, Larry, good to have you. Yeah, let's see here. Antonia, good to have you. All right, so guys, I see a lot of new names. That's great. I want to first talk about. We got two special guests that are going to be on a little bit later as we talk about 10xing your digital marketing agency with web design services. The reason that we're having this training is we want you to know more about the product. I got an interesting email the other day from a pro member. We just had a pro member webinar. We sent out the recording, and he came back and he says, you know what, I really would like to have more webinars about product and the benefits of the product to the client, and webinars like that. And so it was really in line with what we're having with our VIP webinar this week, because I really want to talk to you guys about how you can grow your digital marketing agency by using web design services. Now, web design has that that connotation that it's going to be a lot of work. You got to get the colors right. It's hard to please the end user. Was that image done right? All those little things. Well, one of the things that we have as an option for you is if you use our web design services, we handle all that project management for you if you want us to. That's an option for you to take. And so Rob and Roy will be able to talk about that a little bit later. But I want you to know that we've taken a lot of the work and also a lot of the guesswork out of doing web design services. Now, we have, of course, Virtual Group, we've got access to a lot of data and a lot of campaigns. And what I did is I pulled all the data that we had on guys who have done web design work with us. And you'd be surprised how many of those web design projects turned into recurring income through SEO services and branding services and brand optimization services and social media services, because of one simple thing. They created and built the website for the client. Now, some of these guys are, when I was looking through it, some of these guys concentrate on web design, and then they go through the steps after it's built to upsell them into marketing services, or they're concentrate mainly on marketing services and add the web design services on as an add-on, because it is kind of a one-time purchase, right? And the SEO services and the marketing services are recurring and ongoing. Well, what we want to do in this webinar is really show you how you can get through this process and sell web design and it be really painless for you. So this is great training. Be sure to ask a lot of questions. We're going to have a little bit of role play, and at the end we'll be able to do question and answer with the team. And the team is online now, so if you have any questions as you go, people will be able to answer your questions, and we'll bring those up later toward the end of the webinar. So we'll go through, let's see here. We're going to go through why do a website review, the 7 areas to assess to demonstrate your expertise, and these are real easy. Generally, 2 or 3 or 4, or even all 7 could be on their website and being done wrong. We're going to go through a web design consultation overview so you can see what it takes, and Rob and Roy are going to walk us through that. And then we're going to do a consultation role play. So sit back and enjoy this. This is going to be a really good training for you guys. If you're not doing web design after this webinar, you should be able to do web design and understand why you should do it, okay? So the first thing you want to do is you really want to bring in a website review, and you can tell them that you're going to do it for free. If they've come into your agency looking for SEO, one of the first things you might want to do is say, hey, great, I want to give you a proposal on your SEO, and also I'm going to do a free website review. Because, you know, obviously, if a lot of the attendees on the webinar may be just selling SEO services and marketing services, or the other way around, maybe just web design, okay? Well, if you're just selling SEO services or marketing services, you really need to pay attention here, because this is going to make a lot of money for you, okay? One of the things that you want to make sure whenever you go into doing consultation is making sure that they have their foundation built before you build the house. So if you're going to be taking care of their online marketing, you need to make sure that their website is done properly, right? So going and saying, I want to do a website review, whether or not they have their own in-house team doing their website, or they have their brother-in-law, or, you know, you've already heard all the stories about who put their website up. This is a chance to go in there, and when you do this website review, you're going to be able to convey the problem and then also the solutions to what the issues are. This is also going to help establish you as that marketing expert, because the details that we're going to show you to look for may not be very obvious to an untrained eye, right? Obviously, it builds trust with the client when you do one of these reviews, and you know, it really is a service to them. You're actually, you know, anytime you do a website review and you go through it, and remember, if you go with the attitude that you want to do whatever it takes to help that client succeed, you need to be doing this anyway. Even if they don't want to hear about their website, you know, that their father-in-law built them is not the best out there. At least being able to show, hey, this is where the problems are. Now, you can either fix them yourself or I can fix them, that kind of thing, okay? But by the time you're done, you should, by the end of going through the consultation with them, they should be, you've got a trust established, they know you're an authority, they know that you know what you're talking about, and it will hopefully convert to a sale. Now, what's really cool is when we build a website for you, now the new website services include the setup for the SEO. I think that we're rolling that out. Excuse me. So you know, whenever you get a website from us and it's done, ready to turn over for SEO campaign, it's going to be, the transition is going to be very, very smooth. Rob and Roy can get into that because we've got some exciting things happening with new services with web design coming out here shortly. Actually, we've got a meeting on Monday when everyone else is on holiday. We've got a meeting about the new services that we're going to be releasing, so stay tuned on that one. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the 7 website areas that you want to assess to demonstrate your expertise. And this is also not just to demonstrate your expertise, but really show them where the holes are in their website. We are sending this, I'm getting questions about we're going to send out the PowerPoint to you. We also are going to be sending out the checklist and a really good script that you can use, and we'll send that out and give you the Dropbox at the end of the webinar. Okay, so let's go through these real quick. Number 1, you have a brochure website and not a website that sells. Okay, you know, this is something that's really great. If if it's not selling, then what is it? You know, the old brochure sites that used to be out there. Oh, this is the hours they're open. You know, those websites are they're dead. They're not bringing any kind of good traffic to the client. So you want to be able to point this out. Number 2, you don't collect the names and emails of visitors. A lot of websites, if you check them out, they do not have a lead generation. You know, they're not doing a lead capture. Okay. And remember, a lot of these websites that you see, they'll qualify for all 7 of these. Okay. Number 3, you focus on the features of your product instead of customer benefits. Number 4, you don't use a headline to catch the interest of visitors. A lot of this has optimization written all over it, right? You don't have any customer recommendations. Having that page where you've got customer recommendations and reviews. You don't have a customer-friendly design and navigation. Okay. And then number 7, your call to actions are weak. Well, all 7 of those you could probably use on the majority of websites that are out there. If they do have an area that has customer recommendations or reviews already on the website, then just delete it from the list, okay? But I guarantee you, you click on a bunch of different websites, you'll be able to name all 7 of these are probably areas that they need to work on, okay? So using this type of, and there's a script that we can go through that I'm going to release to you, but this is basically one of the techniques that you can use by doing a free website consultation, taking a look at their website, which 7 of these are they not doing right, okay? So it gives you that in. Then you're going to kind of give them the solution of what you're looking to do, okay? So let's go through, and like I said, we've got a script for you on that that we'll release at the end. So you've got somebody, you know, you've got your client, you're either going to do a deal with SEO or you're pitching a new web design. Let's go through the web design consultation flow and how it works. Now, I can't think of someone who's better to go through this than either Rob or Roy, which are our web design consultants. I want to bring them on right now. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm clicking through here to make Roy's mic hot here. Okay, Roy, can you hear me?
Hey, Jonathan. Yep.
All right, guys. So let me introduce Roy to you. Roy has been with the company for how long? How long have you been with the company?
Well, a little over 5 years now, I think.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Rob is also on the line, and between Rob and Roy, you can't find 2 better guys to walk you through and consult with you on web design. Roy, I want to give this to you. Just let's, if you will, walk everyone through how this works.
Sure thing, sure thing. So basically, it's a very simple workflow on how to specifically go through consultation using our services, the different web design packages that we have available for your clients. Whenever a partner calls me up and says, hey Roy, I have a client, the first question I always ask, well, do they have an website? Because that does take into account how we're going to go about pitching to them one of our services. If they do have a basic website, I run through a few tools. The first tool is xmlsitemaps.com. Just basically check to see if there's a sitemap for the site, and they'll give me a page count. If they don't have one, then I run it through google.com site URL, which will give me the number of indexed pages that they have on the site. If that doesn't work as well, then I manually count the number of pages that's on the site. Also, it helps to go through builtwith.com. You put in the URL there, and it'll actually tell you what platform the site was made on, their hosting, and several other useful information that we can use to pitch to the client. Now, that being said, once we have that, we want to go through some basic information from the client as well, number of pages that they have, which we established if they had an existing site using the various tools I just outlined. What content they have available, what additional content, additional photos, additional content, additional news articles or blog entries that they want to put on the site. And lastly, of course, any additional functionality they want. Now, we don't have to get into that in detail right now, the additional functionality, because we will go into that again later. So that being said, so we have the information, number of pages, content. Then we go into the design of the site. What kind of site do you want? There are basically 2 flavors to choose from, the custom and the theme. And the main difference is the custom package that we offer comes with a mock-up. We'll design a mock-up based on a reference, based on a design brief. We'll revise the mock-up until it's perfect. Once they approve it, we'll build them a site from the ground up to match that mock-up. It's the more expensive package. And that being said, a couple of clients would, of course, have budget constraints. And, of course, if they have a budget constraint, then we go with the theme route. The theme route is essentially a pre-built templated site. We get a theme from various sources. In this case, there are actually 2 sources that are available for you. We have the themes that we have built out using the Genesis platform, which you can access via marketinghelper.net. and you have whatever external themes are available, and there are thousands of them, and there are really, really good ones out there. So depending on which theme they want or you want, and if I may, a side tip here, I generally do not advise having the client choose the theme, because we get into what we call decision lock. They have so many choices that they can't choose, and they'll end up, wishy-washying and saying, this looks good, this looks good, this looks good, I can't choose. The way I would do it, though, the way I would suggest doing it is to actually choose 2 or 3 themes for them. I would suggest choosing it from marketinghelper.net versus external themes. The reason being, we actually built out the themes in marketinghelper.net ourselves. We know it like the back of our hands. We can do whatever we want with it, so it allows for a lot more customizability. You have to realize not all themes are created equal. There are some themes out there that look really nice, but is very, very difficult to work with, and we have to take that into account. Now, assuming you do choose 1 or 2 themes for marketinghelper.net, there are 2 more aspects to that. You can go with either a premium theme or a starter theme. The main difference between the 2 is the starter theme is what you see is what you get. They choose the theme, we change the colors, we put in their content, we put in their photos, that's it. That's exactly what they're going to get. The premium theme, on the other hand, allows for a lot more customizability. You can change out the widgets, the layout, the slider banner. We can change out where the content goes. So there's a lot more room for customizability with our premium themes. Then that being said, we go into the upsells. We strongly encourage, of course, putting in a lead capture, speed optimization, and of course, the support and maintenance program. If you're not selling the support and maintenance program, you should be. It's an ongoing service. They get 4 hours of work on their site. We found from experience that generally when a client has a site built, they will leave the site as is for the next year or so, and they're not going to touch it. And that's not a proper way to use a site, because a site is an interactive medium. You have to manage your leads, you have to interact with your viewers, you have to look at your analytics, and you have to put in new blog posts, and all of that can be done through our support and maintenance service. And this is also additional monthly income for you as well, our partners. That being said, so we built them a design, we have the information that they need, then we align their budget. So you give them a price, they'll say that's too much, that's perfect, whatever. If it's too much, how much is your budget? Then you sort of go through the entire thing again until we sort of close the deal with them. And basically that's how we do our web design consultation. And that's how I suggest our partners do the website consultation with your clients.
Okay, Roy, and we have these slides that we're going to be able to send this out to the checklist so we can walk them through this as well, right?
Mm-hmm. That's correct. That's correct. You guys will have a copy of that.
Alan, can you go ahead and post that link? That'd be great if you go ahead and post that link in the chat box with that Dropbox link. Okay, Roy, I'm sorry. Keep going.
No problem. No problem. Next up to my colleague Robert, and he'll walk you through. He'll just extrapolate on these very important questions that you need to ask whenever you're doing a consultation with a client. If I may, Rob.
Yes. Hey, Roy. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You're on, Rob.
All right. To our partners and our colleagues, greetings. It's wonderful to be in the webinar once again. So just to reiterate what Roy was explaining about the consultation flow or the web design consultation flow. Incidentally, it is also the same questions that you will be asking a potential client or a prospective client. Like what Roy had explained, the first question that you would ask the client would be, do they have an existing website? And from there, that's where the whole pitch will come to play. So if they do have an existing website, then you need to go through the consultation flow. You can use that as a reference. And if they do, ask them if they have, or if they don't, ask them if they have a reference site that they want to use or mimic for their website build. Number 3 would be the content that would go on the site. content is very important, if I may put the weight on that, because the content, the amount of content that will be integrated on the site will play a big role on how the page will look. So it's very important that you ask the client how much and if they already have content. Next question would be what type of build it would be, or what type of development. Would it be a themed build, pre-made, which you can provide marketing helper, as the theme samples, or if it's a custom build. And then moving forward would be the functionality of the site. So there are numerous functionalities that a site can have, if you guys would agree with me. Namely on the list we have the most popular, e-commerce, which is really our as well, membership functionality, event management, real estate listing. These are the most common ones that we've encountered over the years. So asking the client what type of functionalities they would like to add is very important as well, because it could be an added value. Because from your first question, if they have an existing site, if you go through their site, then you'll be able to identify what functionalities are already there. So asking the additional functions is just an added value to get the consultation to another level, because we want to improve their site altogether. And of course, the most important actually, and as listed on the flow, on the consultation flow, it all boils down to how much the client is willing to invest. And that's really how I want to put it, is the word investment. Because if you really think about it, guys, their site is really an investment. This is where they are going to get their leads that can translate to revenue. So having a budget or knowing the budget would also interpret in how you will present a themed or a custom build. So those are just the basic questions, initial questions that you can ask the client. Later on, we are going to be doing a role play to better emphasize the questions that I've stipulated, the flow, and the points that Jonathan mentioned earlier, the areas to assess. So I look forward to that a little later. So I'm going to turn over the mic again to my colleague Roy, and I'll see you soon.
So guys, the chat box, we've got Alo's posted so you can download the Web Design Consultation overview and the checklist. So go ahead and get that downloaded. Roy, if you can walk us through some of these commonly, frequently asked questions, that'd be great.
Sure thing, guys. So yeah, just to give you a heads up, we've been building sites for a long time, and we've heard all of the questions that you may hear from our clients. So if you ever have a question from a client, don't hesitate to give us a call. And these are just some of the most common ones. Number one question is, what websites have you done? Can I see some of your sample work? And of course, if you're a partner who has done several website builds for several clients before, that's going to be what you show them. But of course, if you're starting out, you don't have much, don't worry, we've got you covered, because that's what marketinghelper.net is for. It's not just a theme gallery. It also showcases our site builds. Now, the common question we get is, well, can I see some live sites? The sites in marketinghelper.net are live sites. They are fully functioning sites. It's just not, for an actual business. But they do give the design capability and functionality capability if that's what the client is looking for. So I do highly suggest using Marketing Helper as your portfolio for answering this particular question from your clients. And it's an impressive one. We do actually come up with new themes at the rate of about 1 or 2 every month. So we are constantly updating that with contemporary cutting-edge designs. Next up is how long will it take to build my site?
Let me interject real quick, because we did have a question earlier, and it was talking about, well, what kind of non-disclosure agreement or non-compete? What kind of services, when you're doing the services, how does it affect the sales partner? And this is one of the challenges that we always have. So when people ask, what websites have you done? We don't show them anybody else's, any client's website that we don't have permission to show. That's why we have the ability for you to go to marketinghelper.net. You can white label that where it's yours, and you can show all of what you have. If you've done work with us in the past, or if you've done work on other websites, obviously you have stuff to show them. But if you're brand new, use the marketinghelper.net like Roy was suggesting to show, hey, this is what we have. Obviously, if we have permission, we can show other websites that we've done, and we can always go and ask for permission from different people if you've got an attorney or if you've got a dentist that's looking. But if you go to marketinghelper.net, it's really going to help. But we don't disclose any of the, if we've worked on a site, we don't disclose that to anyone else out there in the market. So sorry about that. It was just a question I wanted to jump in there, Roy.
No problem, no problem.
Okay.
Good point, good point. And that's actually why we use marketinghelper.net, because we don't, we're B2B basically. Your clients are your clients. They're not our clients. So they're strictly your clients. We do not share them with anybody else. Next most common question is how long it will take to build a site. This depends. And the question I always tell them, our partners, is this depends a lot on the client actually. How fast they can give us the materials, how fast they approve the revisions, how fast they approve the mockups. What I can tell them, what you can tell your client is, as long as we have everything we need to build the site, we have your logo, we have your content, we have the photographs, you've chosen the theme, you've given us the hosting provider that we're going to put the site on. As long as we have all of those, we can get your site up within a month. That is for sure. So barring everything else, barring how long it takes them to give us a revision, when we start building the site, give us a month, we can have the initial site done for your client. So that's one thing you can promise them, given, of course, that they give us everything that we need to build the site. Number 3, can I update the site myself? Yes, of course. It is a WordPress site. There are a lot of various WordPress tutorials out there. There are PDFs, there are videos, there are sites that teach you how to use WordPress. I can give you some links if you need some. And it's very, very easy to use. The client can actually update the site themselves. It's completely 100% their own. We don't charge them monthly. We don't lock them into it. We don't take them hostage. They can do whatever they want with it. Number 4, do I have to get my own hosting? Yes, we are not a hosting provider. We do not host sites, except if I may, the starter package, because we built that out specifically so that the client does not have to do anything. We basically do everything. But that aside, we do suggest that you host the site, the client hosts the site on their own servers, because again, we do not believe in taking sites hostages. We do not want to host the site and charge them a monthly fee for it, because we want them to own the site 100% and have complete control and ownership of the site. And number 5, can I get a mock-up of the site before I pay? No and yes. No, you can't, because for the theme package, it doesn't come with a mock-up. The theme functions as a mock-up. For the custom package, you need to pay before you do the mock-up. But we are running a promo right now, where if you close a web design deal, you actually get a free mock-up that we encourage you to use to close your next web design deal, because it's much easier to close a web design deal if you can give them a mock-up together with your proposal. So, but we'll touch more on that later. That being said, I think we're good to go. If you have any more questions, please do feel free to ask us over the questions area, and we'll answer them as best as we can for you. Or hit us up, Rob and myself, and we'll help you out with your client questions.
Hey, Roy, can I address some of these questions with you real quick? Let me get Rob on here as well. Let's just kind of knock this out before you guys get into the role play, if that's okay. I've got some good questions here that I want to go over. So, guys, by the way, keep these questions coming. You guys are really good. So, Lazio is asking about, can you guys give me a checklist for what info we need to get? Like on a, once you signed up a customer, what kind of information do you need? And do we have a checklist that we can send out to people that gets them kind of prepared, kind of like our launch form? So do we have that ready to go?
You just actually answer the question, Jonathan. That checklist you're looking for is the launch form itself. The launch form asks for all the requirements that we would need to build the site. So, and the launch form is available to you once you enter a proposal.
Exactly. If I may add, actually entering a proposal, Jonathan, is really beneficial for them. It doesn't cost them anything. If they have a prospect, even if it's on the 50% mark on closing, they can enter a proposal so that they can utilize the tools that the proposal actually provides. And number one is the launch form, which incidentally they can provide a public link with an access code specifically to white label the form, and they can give that out to their clients, and that would show exactly what is needed to start the development.
Okay, great. Juanita asks, can you touch base on the site if the site is not mobile, is the same process? You know, when we were going through the 7 areas, let me go back here real quick. 1 second, let's see. That is, Juanita, that is an awesome oversight on our part on this page. The 7 areas, it could be the 8 areas because obviously mobile, you know, if the site is not mobile optimized and ready, then that's a problem. That should be also on your call to action. And Mark had a really great suggestion. He asked for a complete checklist that we could give that show, you know, all the things that they need to have that they're missing. This is only 7. I told Mark just a second ago when he asked a question. I don't know if I can see that question anymore. But let's see here. Mark, where are you here on? Let's see. Anyway, so guys, what we're going to do is you're on the webinar. We're going to send this list out to you as a follow-up. It may not go out with the webinar recording, but we're going to send out a list of things that they need to look for you so you can really help sell, not just this 7. Okay, so that's on there. Let's see here. Okay, so here's Mark. This is the question. What we need is a marketing-driven checklist that we can use to review a website with a prospect and point out where they're missing out. Obvious things are mobile-friendly, but other things like clear and easy to find contact information above the fold, call to action, video on the homepage, contact form, phone number above the fold, etc. Absolutely, Mark. And Mark sold a lot of websites. We need to. We'll put these in a list and get them out to you guys. Let's see. I've got. Let me get this question. Okay. This is from Casey. I'm new, so excuse my inexperience. Why is WordPress used as a website platform? I've heard a number of times that there are security hack concerns with WordPress as a platform. Guys?
Okay. It's a well-founded theory, but if I may, WordPress is the most commonly hacked websites in the same vein as there are more car accidents than there are plane accidents, because there are more cars than planes. And WordPress sites make up about 18% of all the websites on the internet. That's a lot of websites. So it just goes to say that there are a lot of WordPress sites that will be hacked. Now, the general security concern here is if you do not use best practice methods, you do not use secure passwords, you give out your passwords willy-nilly to anybody, you keep your passwords in your email, then yeah, you have a high chance of being hacked. But if you do use best practice methods, no, WordPress is a secure platform. And not just that, by default, it is already a secure platform. We actually also have a service. We call it the WordPress Security Lockdown, where we can take that a whole level up and actually make it secure from active attacks, not just bot attacks. So in terms of security, the problem of WordPress being an insecure platform is not a well-founded rumor, if I may.
Okay. Chris has a good question. What markup do you recommend for web design services? Also, what strategies do you see succeeding in closing deals?
All right, let me answer this one. All right, the basic markup that we recommend, actually 200% is a very good markup that's right on the level of the market value. Now, depending on your relationship with the client, now you can play with that. You can go 150, you can go 100, but 100% markup, that should be your bare minimum. So that's to say that that's the bare minimum markup that we recommend. That actually works. One of our partners, Stephen Couch, could actually enumerate on that, if I may, but just a shout out to him. A great, there's so many ways to actually close the sale. Number one is budgeting, like what I mentioned earlier and what Roy has mentioned as well. Being able to play with the price can push for closing the sale. Here at Virtual Group, we actually come out with promotions that actually help our partners. And even if we don't have a registered promo that we actually send out to our partners, we are flexible with adding certain services, maybe security that Roy just had discussed earlier. So there are add-ons that we can bolt on to our main package that can help perhaps close the sale for a particular client. As long as you pitch it properly, that could be a closing mark when closing the sale. Added value, discount promotions, and right now we actually have that free mock-up that we provide. So prior to them actually buying a site, they can have a pre-look of what their site would look like, and that is a great way to actually get your foot on the door and actually close the sale. So
awesome. Rusty's asking, who is your theme provider?
Well, we don't use any one particular theme, but we do, well, it's not a theme. It's what we call a framework. We use the Genesis framework. It's a very, very powerful framework. It's what we call the tabula rasa framework. It's basically a blank slate that we can build any site design we can imagine onto.
So, Rusty, to answer your question, we build our own themes. Roy was discussing earlier about you can go and you can buy a theme from all those Theme River or all those different theme websites that are out there. Well, we're a little bit better than that because you want to pay for the themes separately with our themes, and because our designers and our developers built the theme on the framework that they know the best, we have the ultimate flexibility in optimizing that site. So to answer your question, really, we are the theme. We do everything in-house. So thank you for bringing that up. Guys, we're at 40 after the hour, so let's go ahead and I want you guys to do the role play. Roy, do you want me to move the controls over to you so you can walk through this?
Okay.
Okay, just give me 1 second, guys. Be patient. I'm going to change the presenter over to Roy. Let's see. Where are you, buddy? Oh, I see how to do this. Okay, hold on. Okay, Roy, you are now the presenter. Go ahead and start your screen.
Give me a moment
sharing.
Here.
Yeah, go to sharing and then hit start screen. There you go. Okay, take it away.
Okay, so we'll do a quick role play here. Rob is going to be the client. It's going to be a cold call. I'm going to be the partner. I have the site of the client right here, headhunterhairstyling.com. Let's take it away.
all right.
Okay, hey Rob. I'm Roy. I'm just calling about your business, Headhunter Hairstyling.
Oh, hi, Roy. Yes, how can I help you?
Okay, a friend referred me to you. You know Fred? He runs that car rental business.
Oh, Fred. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, well, my company actually runs his entire online service for him, but that's how I know him. But anyway, I was just over at your store earlier. Impressive service, if I may say so. One thing though, I initially took a look at your website before visiting, and I couldn't help but notice a few things, if you don't mind. You see, I run a company. We specialize in website development and marketing, And I just thought I'd share some thoughts on your site, if you don't mind. Just because I really like the service I got, I want to give this to you for free.
Not at all. I actually just had that site built about a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, about a year ago.
Well, you know, don't get me wrong. It's a good site. It's not bad. I love the colors. It really matches your brand. Really matches your store facade. It's just that when I got to your site, I had to sort of jump around various links just to get to your address and contact number. And I couldn't really find out, just from looking at your homepage, what the main benefits of your services were.
Actually, that's a very good point. I've actually had one client comment on the phone number. They were having troubles finding how to give us a ring instantly, but that's a very good point.
Yeah, I can help you out with that. For example, on my way to your store, I was checking the site on my mobile because I couldn't remember the address, and it wasn't loading properly. I couldn't get the site up on my phone because it wasn't mobile responsive, and I couldn't even click on the number to call it. You know how when you're on the website, you can click on the number, it will automatically call it. Your site doesn't do that. And did you know that a click the call button on a homepage can increase call rates by up to 60%?
Really? So, do you have any suggestions on the site? I mean, that sounds interesting. I do want to improve on the site, but do you have any good points?
Well, a lead capture would certainly help. You know that 40% of your viewers are going to be more likely to buy within 18 months if you engage them after their visit.
Really?
Yeah, I reckon a redesign of your site can increase your customer conversion drastically. We do have reasonable rates, and I can incorporate all the necessary elements to take your site from just, you know, being the online brochure it is right now to something a bit more interactive and user-friendly.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds interesting. Can you give me an estimate on the redesign of the site?
Well, just a brief breakdown. You know, your site is an online brochure. There's no opt-in form. There's no content on the homepage. I'd recommend a custom build. We'll design, create a mock-up first, then build the spec. We'll put in some banners, call to actions, perhaps some promos that you have. That'll be roughly about 3,300.
Wow, 3,300. That's a little steep for my budget of the moment.
Well, what's your budget? We can work something out.
Well, right now, I'd say about half of that I'm willing to invest. I do want to improve the site and, you know, improve leads.
Oh, we can work with that. We can go with a themed build instead.
The theme build, in relation to the custom that you were talking about earlier, would that be as good as the custom build? I mean, I don't want to, you know, have the same site that I have now. I don't see why I would need a redesign. Do you have any samples of your work?
Yes, of course. You can check out some of our work here, marketinghelper.net. I'll send you a link. You can pick a theme that you like. We'll use that to build your site. Check it out.
Wow, that's a lot of themes. Can I see how my site would look like first, though? I mean, before I invest on anything, like what I said, I don't want to have the same looking site that I have now.
Well, tell you what, here's a particular theme that I think would work well with your site in particular. Check out your site, check out this theme. It's more or less the same industry. Check out the photos to something more along the lines for your brand, for your service. Change out the colors, of course.
I actually don't like the colors, man. The font is also putting me off a little bit. Don't like the cursive things in there, or the cursive text. Is there any other themes that you could recommend?
Well, that's part of what we do. The theme is just going to be a general layout guide. We'll rebrand the theme, put in your content, match your brand colors, put in your logo, your content. The theme is just really to showcase the layout and functions, which I think you'll agree is far better than what you have on your site right now.
Okay, so after you redesign the site, can I have full control? Can I edit it myself? The thing that I really want is to be able to put content on my own very easily.
Of course, we'll turn over everything to you 100%. I'll even provide some free training to teach you how to use the WordPress system, which we'll build the site on.
How long will the development take? I mean, I don't want. Will my site go down if I go with the redesign or if you redo my site?
Not yet. We'll build the site first on our own servers. Then once it's approved, we'll actually take it live. Um, you do lack a bit of content though. Do you have any more photos you can give me so that we can use that to build a site? You don't have much on your current site.
Um, I think I do have some photos, but would you be able to source out photos for me? Would the third-party photos or photos from iStop suffice?
Yeah, we can do that for you. We'll look for the relevant photos based on your industry. But it would be better if you did provide your own photos, something more personal.
Yeah, I think I have some nice photos that I'll be able to send and email them.
Oh, sure. We'll email them to me, and I'll email you a proposal tonight as well.
All right. I think that's great. I'll wait for the proposal, and then we'll move forward after that.
All right. Thanks, Rob.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for the quick role play. I know role plays are not, sometimes people love them, sometimes people hate them. We get a lot of comments on the chat box, and we appreciate that. And Juanita, you know what? I love role playing too.
We didn't
guys,
practice.
one of the things that I'm getting some comments on is asking about the budget. I mean, is it better to just present what the pricing is, or instead of asking them for a budget? Because what if they don't know their budget? What if, I mean, that's one of the things that I think Stephen was, in the chat box, he was like, no, that's not the way I do it. What, how do you guys get around price? And if you guys are on the webinar and you've dealt with this before, be sure and throw it in there, because I like to tell people what your input is about the he's saying a range. What is your budget range? Maybe not exactly, what their budget is. Okay.
That's a good idea.
Okay. Guys, for the role play, obviously we kind of condensed maybe one or two calls into one. Rusty's got a point. You may have an intro call that you do a consultation, and then maybe the second call is a technical, technical sign off and closing the deal, showing them what we're going to be doing. Absolutely, it's always a lay down. Rob was kind of a lay down on this one, but we're just trying to give you an example of how to answer the questions. And remember, anything that you have a question on, you can call Rob or Roy. They will walk you through it. I know that Rob and Roy have both been on calls to help even close a client. And do you guys still do that for people sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do, actually,
Okay.
most of the time.
Yeah, so remember, if you need some help with closing a deal, you can always get in touch with Rob and Roy, schedule a time, and they're free. They'll be glad to get on a call if you need some help closing or need some questions answered. There was a question on the webinar as to needing some help in training their sales team as to what's actually included on the technical side on the websites, as well as like what plugins we're using. These are all questions that we'll be glad to answer. Just get in touch with Rob and Roy. I guarantee we disclose everything. There's not one thing that we're going to do to someone's website, when we build a website that you're not going to know about. So those are common questions, and we really appreciate them. Not a lot of time to do that just on this webinar, but if you got technical questions, Rob, Roy, you guys are, these are some of the two hardest working guys in our company. So if you need anything from these guys, they're there to help you.
I promise you, we are better technical consultants than actors.
Well,
I agree.
There's nothing but love here. Nothing but love. We always criticism. All right, guys. Well, listen, Roy, I'm going to take the screen back from you, and then let's see here. Let's talk about. All right, I should be back. You guys see my screen? Let's see here. Okay, good. All right. Thanks, Casey. All right, so let's talk about what we have with, I hope you guys enjoyed the webinar regarding web design. I can't stress enough to you guys that this is an extra, this can really double your business, even if it's on one-time services. If you're doing web design, in addition to your SEO and your other marketing services that you offer, you are just really going to blow it out. When you can use this as a basis, if you're going into somewhere and you don't want to use that three-letter bad word, oh, I'm an SEO specialist, no, this is what I do. Going in and hitting up on their website, look, once you get trained on this stuff and you look at a website, you see it so fast, and you'll see almost every website that's out there really needs help. Okay. I got an email from Mark just a few minutes ago, and it was the checklist. I'm going to get that prepared for you guys, and I'll send it out to everyone who's on the webinar, so you have that as well. And it's I think it's like, Mark, I think I saw it on there. It's like 80 different things to look for to really, on the marketing side, to really land the deal. There's 80 things that you can pick apart on their website to really land that web design deal. We'll get those out to you, but you get the gist of, you get the point. It doesn't matter if it's 80 or it's 7 or 8 that you need to be able to point out if someone's got a bad website. Okay? So I'm really glad that you guys were here. One of the things we really want to go over real quick before I let you go is the February promos. Okay? We have some really cool, this is from Valentine's Day. I know it's a few days after Valentine's Day, but we're all about the love, and this is Aloe. She's the one who came up with these Valentine's Day promos. She's one of our top sales and account managers, so we love you, Aloe. One of the first, I've got some noise here. Let me just kill this real quick on okay, there we go. All right, so we've got some really cool promos this month. We've got First Smooch. If you've never done a campaign with us and you're a new sales partner, we're going to give you 14% off your first campaign right off the bat. Okay, so we want to make sure that you are taken care of, and this is a promo. So if you are doing a first ever campaign, jump on this for the SEO 2017 package. It's really good. PPC and also online reputation repair. Okay, it's any first ever campaign of a sales partner, 14% off. Let me steal your heart. This is really great. If you're doing business with one of our competitors, look, stop cheating and get over to us. We love you, and we want to show you that we're serious. We've got a great product. If you've done business with us before, we also have another promo for you. But if you've got a SEO campaign with a competitor, outsourcing service, bring it to us, show it to us, and we'll give you 14% off if you switch over to us. Okay? Let's take this to the next level and get 14% off. If you're already using our SEO 2017 package and you want to upgrade from a standard to a premium, we will give you 14% off. The premium package, guys, includes the Google amplified content. It is really killer. We're getting spectacular results on our SEO packages. Of course, if you upgrade your PPC package, your online reputation repair, local buzz, or social media, we're going to do the same thing, 14% off. And when you keep that promo, it stays for 12 months is the max, but you can keep that. If you upgrade it, you keep your promo as long as there's no changes. Okay? So this is a good deal. It's not just 14% on 1 month. When you upgrade a package, we're going to give you 14% off for the life of that campaign up to 12 months. So you can save some serious cash. Okay? Say yes to me again. If you've got a campaign that is an older campaign and you can go back to them and say, hey, let's get you back in the fold, we're offering a 14% off of that as well. Remember, that's 14% off for the life of the campaign on a reactivation, for up to 12 months. Okay. Now, if you need, if you click on this link for the client-facing promo flyers, these are given to you, so you can, you know, change them up and be able to send them out to your clients. Guys, if you'll put that in the chat box real quick, I'd appreciate that for the editable client-facing materials for the promos. The deadline on this promos are March 16th, so you still have a full 30 days to get in on this deal, not just because it was Valentine's Day, but you do have until the end of the month. The Web Design Valentine's Day promotions, we've got the Best Foot Forward, and that is the free mock-up that Rob and Roy were talking about earlier. Usually we charge about $150 because of the time that goes into creating a mock-up, but for Valentine's Day, we really want you to take action on building your web design services in addition to your SEO services. So if you've got somebody that's on the fence, listen, contact us. We'll do a free mock-up for you, okay? And we're doing that until March 16th. Guys, it's a really good deal. I don't know if you know how much time goes into creating a mock-up, but to have that done for free, it's a good value. We want to push you to do web design services. It's really a good moneymaker. High maintenance, say goodbye to high maintenance. This is the website and support maintenance package that Rob and Roy talked about earlier. This is 4 hours of support every month on your site. No, we don't have to have built the site. We will do this for any site. So even if we didn't build it, we can still do the web maintenance package for you. Okay, that's a commonly asked question. If VG, if Virtual Group built your website, then great. If they didn't, it doesn't matter. We'll still give you 4 hours worth of work and on a monthly basis to do any type of updates, you know, put in pictures, put in content, install plugins, whatever we need to do for you, and you can get that for 14% off. Okay. So jump on that. That's a good deal. The e-commerce. If you're building a site and you want to put on the e-commerce bundle, it's 50% off for this month. It's a good deal, guys. Also, if you don't have you don't already have a VIP premium site and you want to go with just a full custom e-commerce package, it's 14% off that build. Okay, that's not on every build, but it is 14% off a full custom e-commerce package. We also have these editable client-facing promos. Alo's already got the flyers on the chat box. We also send these out with the email for those of you who are watching this on the recording, or you get it later if you're on a mobile. I know that mobile you can't really click through on these links when you're listening to this or watching it on mobile, but don't worry, we're going to send it to you by email. Also, I talk about this quite often, but we're doing Shopify e-commerce websites right now. So if you've got a client that wants to get into e-commerce and they've heard about Shopify, let us know. We are doing some amazing stuff with our Shopify packages. Okay, so don't hesitate to call in to Rob and Roy. One more thing. If you're a pro member, okay, look for your email regarding the pro member webinar that we had on Tuesday. If you missed it, I did give away for all of our pro members that were on our Valentine's Day webinar. I sent out a $50 voucher to be used for anything that we're offering. So if you're a pro member, and get your $50 credit or your promo, it's on your email. Download it and be able to use it for anything that you want with services. If you're not a pro member, these are the kind of things that we do for pro members. Our membership runs around $119 if you go month to month, or if you sign up for longer, of course, it's deeply discounted. But we're always doing crazy stuff like that. I think last Christmas we gave away $100. There's on Valentine's Day I gave away $50. It's not about especially the promos like that, but our pro members really get a preferential treatment and are in on some really good stuff here at Virtual Group. So we encourage you to join. We've got a great community there. Okay, the next VIP webinar is going to be on March 2nd. We will continue along the route of doing some product training. I guarantee you we will be more rehearsed if it comes to a role play. We'll be sure and bring in some really fantastic actors to do our role play in the future. Just joking. But we appreciate you guys being on. If you're a pro member, be sure and be on next week's webinar on the February 23rd. That's when we're going to walk around. We're going to work on the funnels for your website. We're going to give away a funnel for you to use and a complete turnkey solution to a fantastic funnel for your website. We're doing that next week for the pro members. That's all included. If you're not a pro member, sign up now and be in on that next webinar. For everyone else who joined us today for the VIP webinar, your next webinar will be on March 2nd. So please join us then. If you're not a partner, just go to virtualgroup.co and sign up. We'd love to talk to you. If you'd like to get in touch with me, don't hesitate to hit us up on social media, or you can email me directly at connect@virtualgroup.co. Guys, I appreciate your time. I know that your time is valuable. Thank you so much for being on today. Like I said, if you've got questions about how to do anything with web design, you reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you. If you've got something custom that you want done, we can do anything. Our web design team is very experienced. I don't think there's anyone on our web design team that hasn't been with us for at least 3 or 4 years. So it's a great team. It's one of our tightest teams that we have here at Virtual Group, and so we want to make that available to you because our team is your team. Thank you so much. My time is up. It's 1 o'clock. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Happy President's Day, and I will be thinking of you all on my birthday tomorrow. So adios from Jonathan. This is Jonathan Kirkland with Virtual Group from Austin, Texas. I'm out.